Hello, welcome to Pursuit of a Perfect System. My name is Terry Ellis. I'm an audio reviewer and a professional Dirac Live Calibrator. And at the weekend, I was at the UK's premier high-end hi-fi show, the UK Hi-Fi Show Live 2019, which for the first time was being held at Royal Ascot Racecourse, an absolutely amazing venue to host a hi-fi show. Now, Royal Ascot by its very nature is a very prestigious venue for any event, let alone a hi-fi show, and it is a very big venue, which meant a lot of walking and a hell of a lot of work for me. And I would say from 2 days of pretty much non-stop filming, I covered about 50% of the rooms and systems that were there. That's how big the show is and how many exhibitors are there for you. And with that, there's a whole variety of different systems and I think kind of scale and quality of systems for attendees to enjoy and I think experience. And there's a really big word there, experience. And coupled with that was some absolutely fantastic demonstrations. And here is a little taste of what's to come from the video coverage.
Here's what I like. Laying on the beach with sunlight in my eyes, laughing with my friends under the sky, following our hearts so then we take a ride. Wherever, I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to get that high, high, always. If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble, I am the needle who will push your bubble, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna fight pieces wood, I'm not backing down. So if you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle.
So I hope you enjoyed that and I hope it's got you excited for the video coverage to come. But what did I think of the show? Well, it's my 4th year attending the Hi-Fi Show Live and my 3rd year covering it with video and audio, but obviously my first time doing so at Royal Ascot. At first, I did find it quite a difficult venue to navigate around. In essence, it's quite simple. You literally have a left and a right or an east and a west, and all the rooms are spread out along kind of essentially very long, very big corridors from east to west, spread across 6 different floors. I think the confusing part was probably more just down to familiarity and really the size and scale of the venue. I feel after spending 2 days there filming, I've got a pretty good understanding and feel for how the building's laid out now, and I think if I'd spent another 2 days there, I would have been able to visit pretty much all the rooms, and then I would understand and know where they all are for next time. And I think what I'll do is, before next year's show, if it's also held at Royal Ascot, I'll make a video to try and pass on just some of the tips really and some of the things that I learned from my time there to help new attendees get going quicker and get more out of their day or 2 days spent at the show. There's no doubt that Royal Ascot is an amazing high quality and high prestige venue, especially as I keep mentioning, to hold a hi-fi show there. Yes, the rooms are very spread out across this huge venue. There are obvious benefits of that. There's less sound leakage from one room to another. That's an obvious benefit. And another really great thing about the show was that there was free parking about a 30-second walk from the entrance to Ascot, so you can't ask for any more from the show in that regard. The sound quality across the show and in general was very high, and I think the manufacturers and exhibitors did a fantastic job of setting up these rooms for the first time. Do bear that in mind. And you also got to factor in that Ascot is a venue designed for people to look out of these beautiful glass windows onto, a stunning race course. So massive, great big areas of glass in pretty much every single demonstration room comes with its own acoustical challenges. And I think all the manufacturers did a great job to try and overcome these limitations. And I think you'll notice the general high quality of sound throughout the video coverage. And like anything, the more you do it, the better at it you get. And I think all the manufacturers and exhibitors will learn a lot from this year to make next year's show and sound quality even better, and I think that's really very exciting. So what were my standout rooms? Well, the first one that springs to mind was a combined room with KEF, Inuos, Chord Company and Chord Electronics. The speakers were the KEF Blade 2 with an Inuos statement server, Chord Company's top of the range cables and top of the range Chord Electronics with their new Ultima 3 monoblock amplifiers. Showed as a demonstration just how big KEF Blade 2s can sound in a very big room. In one of the smaller rooms was Gatto Audio. That was a really good sounding room, very sweet and very rich sounding. Vimberg speakers, Tidal Electronics, I think a Melco Source with Tellurium Q cabling was another really good sounding room. Isotech Paradigm and Anthem was another very impressive room, a very dynamic and immediate sounding system being set up in a very small room, and that just goes to show what I was talking about. The manufacturers did a fantastic job of creating great sound in all different types of room conditions. YG Acoustics with their Sonya 2.1 speakers, SME Synergy turntable with Boulder pre and power amplification on a Quadraspire rack was another really clean and good sounding system. Another very impressive system was Esoteric with Rido speakers. That was sounding big, dynamic and bloody impressive. Now, I mentioned this earlier about a hi-fi show being an amazing place to get new experiences, and again I stress that word experience because experiences were on offer this weekend at the hi-fi show. There were some absolutely interesting and fantastic presentations going on throughout the show, and I was very lucky and fortunate to film Lynn Stanley, who is one of the biggest female jazz singers around the world, certainly in LA and in America. She was given a really interesting presentation on her reel-to-reel tapes and on her as an audiophile music producer and creator. That was a real treat to be able to film that presentation. I think that's going to make for a very interesting video as part of the coverage. I also filmed several demonstrations from the famous German audiophile and journalist Matthias Bode, who was giving demonstrations all across the show on different topics such as vinyl versus master tape, CD versus vinyl. I filmed several of these demonstrations with him on an absolutely amazing hi-fi system, seriously high-end, with a Garrard 301 turntable, Nagra Electronics, Avant-Garde Acoustics, big horn speakers and Quadraspire X-reference racks. Then, when we're talking about experiences, I got to listen and film the Wilson Audio Alex speakers, serious high-end speakers. And if that wasn't enough, I got to listen to them and film them on an Audio Research full valve based system, and then I got to listen and film them on a Dan D'Agostino system, including the Relentless monoblock 250,000 pound amplifiers, about the highest end amplifiers that exists on the market. That's exactly what I was talking about. How often as audiophiles and mere mortals do we get to experience and listen to systems at that level? You know, that's my first time in all the effort and years that I've been out going to shows and filming shows. Never have I got a chance to listen to a system at that level. So that was a real treat, and that alone was worth the effort and the cost of attending the show. And that's what's amazing about hi-fi shows at this level. Audiophiles, us mere mortals, get to experience sound quality at that level, and it's damn impressive. So I would say, from what I've shown you and from what I've told you about just some of the hi-fi show live from the weekend, you can probably pretty much make up your own mind of whether it was a good show or not. It was an absolutely fantastic show, and I can only think there's even more better and exciting things to come next year from the show organisers, and that if it's at Ascot again, because the potential of that venue is absolutely huge. And I will admit that some people may get put off by the fact that it seems everything there is uber expensive and uber high-end, and yes, it is a high-end show, so that is what you're going to see, but it wasn't all that was there. There was lots of more modest and reasonably priced hi-fi systems and solutions as well, so there's something there pretty much for everybody, and I think it's just a great excuse to get out and go and speak to the manufacturers of products and kit that you might be interested in. Even if they wasn't on display or on demonstration at the show, it gives you a chance to speak to the manufacturers and find out more about the products that you're interested in, as long as you're not talking to them while I'm in there filming. At this point, I just want to talk to you about how I went about filming the show, so that you know what to expect from the upcoming video coverage, including all the limitations of what I did. Before I go into that, I want to thank my show coverage sponsors, GIK Acoustics, Chord Electronics and Tellurium Cube, because without the support of these companies, there's no way I could put in the effort, spend the time there that I did to create the video coverage as comprehensive as what I'm going to give you. There's just no way I could. And these are all fantastic companies and brands whose products I use every single day. There'll be links to their website below this video in the description. Go and check out their products. You know, these are all great companies making great hi-fi components and acoustical treatments, and as I say, I use them in my systems every single day, and that makes me really, really proud to have them sponsoring me to go and do this kind of level of extensiveness of work, to be able to create this coverage for you. So I'm really, really grateful to those companies, and I couldn't be happier or more proud that they are supporting me in able to do this Pursuit of Perfect system project to bring the video coverages to you as I do, because it is serious amounts of work. Anybody that saw me at the show will see just how hard I work and how serious I take this, and literally how much I put into it. I literally carry around about 10 kilograms worth of kit with me all day, and about 5 or 6 kilograms of that I hold in my hands literally all day, from before the show opens till long after the show finishes, and I'm filming as much of it as I possibly can. Something that I need to point out going into the show, I was actually sporting quite a semi-serious injury to my right arm. I think it's potentially called tendonitis or tennis elbow. Most of you probably are familiar with that. Most of you have probably suffered with it at some point or another. It's very, very painful. So bear in mind, on my feet all day, carrying around 5 or 6 kilograms worth of, you know, camera equipment, trying to hold it steady as possible. You know, with an injury to my arm, maybe the video footage for this particular show might not be as steady as I would like it to be, or as previous shows gone by. Cut me a little bit of slack. I still worked my absolute socks off, and the show must go on, as they say. So despite the injury, I still was there filming for you for 2 solid whole days, working as hard as I possibly could. For the audio side of the coverage, I use the same recording equipment as I do for my reviews here. So that's stereo microphones, recording at CD quality, using studio grade recording equipment. The microphones are placed pretty much where the camera is, so bear that in mind. Sometimes the camera's high, sometimes the camera's away from the sweet spot. So what you're seeing is essentially what you will be hearing. I've chosen to use no limiter on my recording equipment for the highest possible sound quality, but that does come with the caveat that sometimes when there are unsuspected big bass peaks, sometimes that can clip the recording out. So just factor that in for a second. I'm standing there holding about 6 kilograms worth of camera equipment, trying to focus on what I'm filming, while listening to a recording, trying to focus on getting the camera and the microphones in a good spot for audio, while being in serious pain with my right arm, while trying to not tread on anyone's toes, bump into anybody, block anybody, get in anybody's way, or worse, bump into or scratch or tread on any very expensive hi-fi components. Trying to work in and around people to not be a nuisance and yet still bring you the best quality coverage that I can. That is not a fixed science. It's literally just a process that I just do my absolute best. So with all that said and done, I really hope that you enjoy the video coverage for the UK Hi-Fi Show Live 2019 that I'm hoping to get started as soon as possible. Then I'm hoping to bring you at least a video a day for the foreseeable future so that we can keep the buzz from the Hi-Fi Show going and you don't have to wait too long between all the individual videos. Now there's just one major decision to make. What video do I start with? If you've got any suggestions, leave them below in the comments section, and please bear with me. You know, as much as I want to get a video out every single day, to do it at very high quality does sometimes take quite a lot of time. So bear with me, it's all coming, as well as loads of videos for reviews of those speakers that you can see behind me, plus lots of other really interesting stuff. There's loads of great videos coming, so there's never been a better time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this little intro teaser type video for the Hi-Fi Show Live 2019. As a review, it's a fantastic show. I love attending it every year and I can't wait to attend next year. And if you guys go next year, which you should all make the effort to go next year, I'll see you there. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you go and visit our website. I'll see you soon. Take care.